This little Vietnamese girl came to the US and was abused by the US citizen. And the most tragic thing about this case was that the abuse was completely suppressed and there was no documents to prove it whatsoever. But in order to win the case, we used the bona fide marriage argument and got her the green card. I'll show you how. Hi everyone, this is Joseph. I'm the managing partner here at Tsang Associates, where we solve legal problems with creative solutions. So the legal problem here was that this little Vietnamese girl, when she came over, she got married, she got the green card, but afterwards she just started getting abused by the husband. And the most painful part of this whole thing was that the husband completely controlled her, didn't let her have anything, didn't let her have passport, visa, took away everything and just enclosed her in the house. There were moments when they were driving and like vacationing, and on the way to Vegas, in the middle of the night, got in a fight. The husband kicked her out of the car and made her wait in the cold, in the night, completely alone, drove off, came back to pick her up hours later. Think about the mental anguish that will cause on a foreigner, a girl who doesn't speak a word of English, being stuck in the middle of the desert on the road to Vegas, freezing. It's terrible. And you know what? There's no documents to prove that, right? There's absolutely nothing because she didn't have a phone. There's no police report. And these type of drama just continued. And in order for somebody like her to get her green card, you need to prove that the abuse existed. And unfortunately, there just wasn't any. And so as the years went by with all of this trauma, she told a few of her friends. And one of her friends, this Cantonese guy, was trying to find somebody who can help her and came across our office. And so when he found us, he was speaking to me in broken English and Cantonese, and I had my Cantonese secretary help translate. And then when she needed to speak to me, she spoke to me in broken English and Vietnamese, and I had my Vietnamese secretary help translate. And to work on this case, I worked with my Spanish department because they do the most 751 waivers, and I needed their strength and their expertise in putting everything together. So we have my Spanish team, Vietnamese secretary, Cantonese secretary, this Vietnamese guy, Cantonese guy, sorry, and then this Vietnamese girl in question who was suffering this marital abuse. And so this entire process, we had to start planning. We needed to get a divorce attorney. We needed to file a restraining order. We need to protect her. We need to get her into some sort of witness protection program so she could not be found out and so that she's protected, and that we can document everything, and to file the 751 waiver. Not on the abuse because there was no documents to prove it, but on the bona fide marriage. And the thing is, the husband was so controlling that there was nothing that was joint. He controlled everything. And so really all we had to show was her own statement and a few statements of her friends and her family. But the good news was that there was a lot of text messages. And I remember a long time ago, 5 years ago, I read a book, and the entire book was composed with text messages. All the characters were just sending text, and the entire picture book was just full of text. And it was a riveting love story, so painful and so sweet. And that burned into my memory that you can compose a powerful, powerful narrative with just seeing text messages alone. And so that was our crown jewel. We used her text messages in the past 5 years to prove that the relationship was real. We didn't have that many financial documents. We didn't have any abuse documents. We just had these text messages. But with the strength of the story, with the documentation of everything that was available from her friends and from herself and her statements, she was able to win the 751 waiver case. And she couldn't really speak English. She was terrified. We had our attorneys go with her to the interview. And the officer was just so nice, was so kind, was more like a counselor as opposed to an officer trying to examine her. She was shaking, she was telling her story, but it was very believable, and I wouldn't be surprised if one day she becomes successful and she would be speaking on the TED stage. And that's it for this success story. It's a very typical 751 waiver case, but the difficult thing is there was no documents, and we mainly used text messages, and we got everybody together because of the language barrier, but we need to do everything we can to win the case, so we've put all our resources at its disposal. and we are glad that it was successful. If you have any questions about 751 waivers, how to prove your case is good, or how to strategize because you're thinking about doing it, feel free to give us a call. We'd love to talk to you. All right, take care. Bye-bye.